We get 75% of what they do, so that's $6,000. So that's almost $100,000 a year right there on your 3 levels. So if you had 10 first lines and only 2 of them get the millionaire team, okay, that's $200,000 a year in income by just doing that. So what do you concentrate on? Getting 10 first line every single month, okay? And then concentrate on going down line so you can make this happening with 2,500, okay, and it all happens. But it happens with the beginning of getting those first lines. Here's something else I keep in mind when I'm recruiting. I don't prejudge anybody whatsoever. Anybody. I have an attitude about recruiting. No matter who I'm looking at, I view them as the next president team member. That's my attitude. That's my attitude. My attitude is that they can get rich, period. That's my attitude. And I tell every single person that they can get rich. I tell everybody that. I paint the big dream to everybody, don't I? Now, I let them do whatever they want. But my responsibility is to let them know everything that there is. And I personally believe everybody can get rich. I personally believe that. Now, why do I believe it so much more than anybody else in this room? Because I've seen it more than anybody else in the room. Because everybody's in my organization. So I'm clear. Every kind of person I see can get rich. So when someone's hair's a little messed up, I don't see them as their hair's messed up. I see them as a president's team member. If they smell a little bit funny, president's team material. Their shirt's wrinkled, president's team material. Different kind of look on their face because of the way their eyes look, because they're slanted a different way, or they're rounded a different way, or a different color of skin. See, to me, it's all presidential material, okay? So to me, I treat everybody equal, everybody nice, everybody with respect, because you just never know. You cannot know. Now here's the next thing when you're out there recruiting. You got to believe that they're going to get rich. Just like the product. You know how you guys are with the product? Your attitude is when you put someone on the product that you know that they're going to lose weight no matter what. Isn't that right? As long as they use it. As long as it's 2 shakes a day, tablets 3 times a day, okay, you know what's going to take place. The problem with getting the attitude of everybody's going to get rich is that most of you, the products worked faster on you than getting rich did. And when you're not rich yourself, it's difficult of looking at everybody else that they're going to get rich. Well, just take and borrow from all the people that you got this last 48 hours and take their strength, okay, and put it into yourself, and then look at everybody else and look them in the eye and tell them they can get rich. And you heard it here from a lot of people. What did they say? Fake it till you make it. Keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep talking about it, and pretty soon what starts happening? It starts to actually happen. You don't beg people to get into the business. Sometimes, especially when you're new and you're in the back of the row there, okay, and you're talking, and when you're doing it at the beginning, it's always the hardest, okay? And the reason it's the hardest is because that's when you're the brokest, and that's when your car's not looking good, and your suit's not looking good, and you're afraid that they're going to turn off the electricity at your house, and you can't pay the mortgage bills, and you're scared about paying the food for little Billy and little Sally, and everything's terrible. So your attitude's the messed up the most, okay? So consequently, you're not that strong when you're recruiting, and you're begging people to get in. Please get in so I can make some money. Most people could care less how much money you make. They only care about how much money they make themselves. That's what they care about. And let me tell you something. You shouldn't be begging them to get into this company. They should be begging you to get into this company. This is Herbalife. Start talking about 10 a day, it's really not that difficult to do, but a lot of people don't do it. But if I told you guys that all your job was to bring to me, okay, over the next 5 years, all right, over the next 5 years, that all you had to give to me was 180 supervisors, no matter what, okay, no matter what happened or anything else, you bring me 180 supervisors into the company, and I will personally write you a check for $4 million. How many people would do that? Now see, I will write the money. All you got to do is bring them in. See, the hard part is employing yourself enough. Okay, see, when you guys had your regular jobs, they told you what to do, all right? Whatever job it was you had before you came to Herbalife, they said, this is your job. You have to do this, and you have to do that, and you must have it done at 5 o'clock, okay? Here's what your job is in Herbalife, okay? Talking to people about the product. That's your job, okay? And your job is talking to people about the business. And if you look at it, that your job is 10 people on the products and 10 people about the business, you will make this kind of money. You just have to fantasize about it a little bit, about the other stories of people who have made it, so that you can get yourself excited enough so you make the first step, okay? Because we talked a little bit about that. Getting started is the hardest part. Let me tell you where the most difficult part of all of Herbalife is for everybody, although it's going to be a lot easier now that we've got the 10-10-10 coming back to the home office. It's from getting from ground zero, your check to 1,000 points. That's your most difficult part, because by the time you got your 1,000 points and your 2%, which gives you another couple of thousand, and you got your retail that's giving you a couple of thousand, and now you're making $5,000 a month, it becomes a little easier to be excited and be confident to talk to people that believe in you because of how strong you become, okay? And that's the most difficult part. Getting to Millionaire Team is a breeze, okay? I'm telling you, I know it's very difficult to understand this, okay? But it's easier making $1 million a year than it is getting to that first $1,000, okay? Because you're doing the same things to get to $1 million as you are 1,000. You just do it more times to get to $1 million. And while you're getting there, it's funner because you're making money on the way. The worst part is when you're doing all the grunt work and you're doing all the stuff and you're not seeing results as fast as you want them to be, and it's discouraging and it's disheartening and things aren't happening. But it will happen. It will happen. If you do it, it will happen. You just have to do it long enough. You've seen enough people between the stage and what we're going to show you today that your time will come. All you have to do is put in the effort and the work. Your time will come. I'm telling you, your time will come. The game of Herbalife is just, it really is a game, okay? Because all you're doing here is you're trying to sponsor enough people a month. This is just a plan, okay? You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. But your goal is to try to sponsor 2 hot people a month. And then here's what I want to do with these people. I want them to go to the Who Do You Know list and make up 100 people of all the people that they know. That's what I want to have happen. That doesn't happen, then my second choice is the button. They don't want to do the button, flyers is the next one because it's the cheapest. Next thing after that could be an advertisement. But my worst thing is to have them do an ad, because an ad's going to cost some money, and we don't want people investing in money and so on until they've made some money. So my best thing is to get them to their friends, okay? But here's what you do once you've got a hot person. What you do is you go down to the second person, and you have, let's say that this is Jerry. And Jerry, the first night that she got into the company, she said, I'd like to have a party planned tomorrow night because I could get a lot of my friends to that meeting instead of waiting 2 days from now till the Thursday meeting. I said, great, let's go. I said, who are the people? And we started making telephone calls. Now, I made some of those phone calls. Jerry made some of those phone calls. So when we got over here to Debbie, who's the house that we were at, that we were going to make the deal and stuff like that, we had 7 people at the house party, okay? And I told Jerry, now, Jerry, you got to do the product section, and I'm going to do the marketing plan section. Now, from this meeting, this, I can't remember her name, but she was like the World Sit-Up Championship. Sue, I think it is. Okay? And when we went to Sue's place, she had another place that she had that we could do a meeting. I said, now, Jerry, when we get over to Sue's house, I want you to have Debbie do the product part, and you do the marketing plan part, and I'll just tell my story at the end. Okay? And then we go down here to someone, I can't remember just right at the moment, but somebody in Sue's organization. Let's call this Doug Stunts for just the example. Okay? I'm trying to do this all in the qualifying month, by the way. I want to go as deep as humanly possible in the qualifying month, and I'll show you why here in a second. Now we get down here to Doug's house, and I tell Jerry, I said, Sue, you do the products. Debbie, you do the marketing plan. Jerry, you tell your testimonial. Okay? And it could be anything at that point. Jerry's thing was, I got a couple of customers, and I already got 3 distributors, and I've been in the business only 2 days. Okay? You use what you got. And then I was there to tell them what happened to me. Okay? Because I was already 2 months in the business, got my checkup, and so on. But my goal here is, this is the first line, this is the second line, this is the third line, this is the fourth line, this is the 5th line. I'm trying to get this thing going down to 6 generations deep. Now, if I can get it farther than that, I try to get it farther than that. If I can't get the 6 levels, it's not a disaster. But my goal is to sponsor people, okay, to make it simple. Okay, write this down. I want to sponsor as many people as I can until I get 2 hot people. Hot people are defined as who? People that say, I want to do this. Okay? As soon as they say that, go now. The first thing I always tell people is, let's go after your friends and your relatives. Okay? What I do is I move and groove with the way that people want to do it. So if they say no, then I say, well, listen, why don't we use the button? They say, I don't want to use the button. Great. They say, well, let's use some of these business cards and go out and just start talking to people and tell them to come down to our meetings. They say, that sounds like something I'll do. And I say, great. Okay? Now, whenever I get them to say great, whether it's their friends, if they say, listen, let's go talk to your friends, they say, I'll do that. Great. Okay? Then the next thing I do is I show them what to do. And then you make them try it. And the first couple of times that they try it, they always mess it up a little bit. So here's what you do. When they mess it up, say, listen, you did great. I'm telling you, you're just so good, it's just unbelievable. But I'm telling you, if you just do this and you do that, I'm going to show you how to do it one more time. Okay, and you watch how that works a little bit better, because when I do it this way and I do it that way, that's why I get this result. So then you come back and you show them how to do it again. Now you say, you see how I did that? Now try it again yourself. Then they mess it up one little piece of it. And you say, that was great. Man, I tell you, I just can't believe how good you're doing at this. Most people, it takes a lot longer. You're just unbelievable. Okay? Then you show them again. Then you get them to try it again. Then you show them again, and then you get them to try it again. Then after they've tried it enough time, pretty soon they know how to do it on their own. Now that's what's important. Now this is extremely important, that they know how to do it on their own. Not only for them, okay, because this builds their respect and their self-esteem. about how they know how to do this company and how they know how to do this business. If you live with them forever and do everything for them, they never get it themselves. And if they don't get it themselves, they won't build the character and the self-respect and the self-esteem that they need to do it on their own. Now, there's another reason why you need to have them do it on their own. Because if they know how to do it on their own, you don't have to work with them much anymore. You maybe have to do a call a month. You may have to do a little bit of tour every once in a while and visit a few of their meetings and stuff like that. Okay, but once they know how to do it on their own, now you can do the most important thing that you need to do to follow the Herbalife game, which is to sponsor another 10 people so you can get another 2 hot people to work with, so that you can do the whole process again. Because it's only through this process that you can build it wide enough so you've got enough chances to get people on the world team and to get people to the GET team and to get people to the millionaire team and eventually to the president's team. Because in our business, unlike other businesses, this doesn't work where you're in a company where as you build up the ladder, everybody's scared to death because they may lose your job because you're getting so good. In Herbalife, it's great. The better your people do, the better you do. Isn't this great? They get rich, you get rich. Isn't that great? Duplicate. You got to show your people how to retail. Write these things down. I'm giving you the stuff that got me rich. You got to teach them how to recruit. You got to teach them how to do a meeting. You got to get them and show them how to do a training. You got to get them and you got to show them how to do conference calls. You got to show them how to do an organizational meeting. And then we'll take over from there and help them get to the corporate schools. And then I'll make sure that they know how to do the chairman's classes, the extravaganzas, and the summit. And I'll do that for you. Training them how to do it will make you a fortune. So I was sitting there and I was showing them what to do, then I was getting them to do it. Then we would go out and we'd start the little opportunity meetings and stuff like that. And I'll never forget, Leslie Stanford was in the organization, and she said, listen, you know, I got all these people up in Canada that want to do the business and stuff like that. And so as I was showing Leslie what to do and how to answer the phones and how to do the stuff and all that, then she knew how to do it, okay? Now you've duplicated yourself. And she went up there to Canada, she started showing people what to do and getting them to do it. And then what would happen is once somebody that I had a little group somewhere else going, okay, I started promoting the business. Write that down. And I gave them a little goal to go for. Some people ask, well, how did you build it around the world? I'm telling you right now. It's going to make a lot more sense as we go through this over the next couple of days, but this was the beginning of it. Leslie said, well, listen, you know, I need you to help me out and come up here and do some meetings for me and stuff like that and do one of the training classes. I said, great. I said, what we're going to need you to do is get 100 people and do $20,000 worth of business, and I'll be up there to do one of your Saturday training classes. Now, why did I want her to do 20,000? Okay, one reason is so it could get me 5%, which would pay me $1,000, which would pay for my airplane ticket to get me up there. Remember, I was broke. Now, serious. So I had to have a plan, okay, to get me up there, okay. If you would have known me back then, you would have thought I was the richest guy in the world, okay. But I needed something to give them the chance to say, listen, here's our goal, here's what we got to do, let's pour it on, let's hit it. Why did I do opportunity meetings, okay? I could have set people down one-on-one. Would that work? Of course, okay? One of the great things about Herbalife is anything will work, okay? The question is how fast it works,
how quick it works for you, and more importantly, how quickly it works for the people that you get in, okay? And so I was always interested in fast, okay? So the opportunity meeting was set up for me to invite people all day long and get them down to the opportunity meeting, and that way I could do all 8 or 9 people that I had gotten during the day that came to the opportunity meeting. I could pitch them in 1 hour instead of spending 7 hours to do it, okay? And so that was really the goal. The second reason why I like doing it at the opportunity meeting is that's where I had my testimonials and my other people that had their incomes. Not that my testimonial wasn't impressive enough and my income wasn't impressive enough, but see, I'm not enough, and I know that. You see, what you want to have in an opportunity meeting is as many people as humanly possible talking, okay? And that's why I'm not doing all this meeting completely by myself. That's why we have other people talk about doing the retail. That's why we have other people doing the recruiting. That's why we're going to bring up the GET team. That's why we're going to bring up the Millionaire team. Because the more people that you can hear from, and the more different backgrounds you hear, and the more different circumstances, and where they were, and where they came from, and what their first month's income was, and what it is now, the more eyes that you can see, the more somebody, okay, and there's going to be somebody today that you're going to see, that you're going to say, hey, if that person can do it, I can do it. And that's the most important thing that can happen